Hi, everyone. In today's Data Expert Talk, we are going to talk about what are some of the challenges organizations are seeing in solving data governance challenges as they are navigating through various of different goals of going to the cloud, bringing more Gen AI into their ecosystem. Quick introduction from my side. I'm Deep Bhagat from Tiger Analytics, a company that specializes in strategy and executions for end-to-end data analytics and AI solutions. With me joining two experts, Vishal Puri and Gopala, who will be sharing their thoughts on how, what are they seeing in the market, what are some of the challenges organizations are solving, and what are the possibilities they are seeing in, to solve and navigate those things. So with me, we have Vishal Puri from Tiger Analytics. Vishal.
Thank you, Amadeep. Thanks for having me over here. Hi, this is Vishal Puri. I'm based out of Dallas, Texas. Lead our data and analytics engineering practice, and the core mission of our practice really is to build, govern, modernize, and operate data products at scale for our clients, focusing on bringing the maximum value by delivering insights.
Gopala, introduction from your side as well.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thanks Amadeep for having me here. My name is Gopala. I'm a product specialist focusing on governance. I'm based in APJ. In my current role, I work with organizations of different sizes and types to implement governance. Governance is usually the foundation for building applications like data and AI, and also in the recent times. I also work with partners like Tiger Analytics. You guys, basically you are an allied partner of ours. So you usually help customers to build these applications at scale, and we bring that expertise, especially in the governance area as well.
Thank you, Gopala. So just to kick it off, I think there's a lot happening in the world today. There's a lot of cloud-based transformations which is happening. There's been new ways of organizing the data were also being adopted by the organizations. There were security challenges. There were a lot of trust challenges. Variety of different things that we're hearing. So Vishal, over to you. If you want to share your thoughts at what you are seeing while presenting Tiger Analytics to the clients, what sort of challenges, hurdles you are seeing organizations talking about?
Thanks, Amadeep. So the challenges with end-to-end data governance, I think they are now largely being recognized as value opportunities by our clients. Right? And what we see is there are various reasons why governance is at top of the minds of our clients. And these are stemming from various different challenges. Some of our clients, for instance, for example, in consumer product good companies, there was a huge push on analytics, on going to the cloud and really utilizing the power of the cloud to build analytics. And there are several teams that brought value in doing that, but realized that they were also building consequently data silos that were difficult to manage, that are producing quality challenges. Right? In other cases, in some of our other clients, for example, some of our clients have grown with M&A acquisitions. They have multiple different clouds. Some of our organizations are still looking at, hey, they've got fairly mature data assets but lying around in different places. How do they modernize them, and bring them to bear to increase value, but this creates challenges with quality, lineage, etc. And yet other places, many of our clients are looking at, because of geographic differences, needs for agility amongst various lines of businesses, data domains. They're looking at adopting data mesh architectures. And again, governance becomes prime over there. Because you are adopting various platform architectures, but there is a lot of data sharing that is required when it comes to building useful analytics, right? There is interconnectedness of data that needs to be addressed, sharing of data, lineage of data, and therefore common good data foundations, reusable data assets that need to be created as data products, right? All these are converging together, and what we are seeing after working with our clients over the last 4 or 5 years on these issues, coming to a good converged set of best practices. I think there is an industry convergence and there's maturity in platforms like Databricks now in addressing some of these core challenges head on with respect to data quality, data lineage, cataloging, etc. We are beginning to see for various patterns, centralized governance as well as federated governance, what good really looks like.
It's a lot of interesting point and a lot of fundamental points as well, where there's still the one single source of truth, the trust challenges, all of those things are kind of compounding. There are no single definitions. Thanks again for sharing those. Gopal, as a platform provider, how do you see what sort of challenges you are hearing and what the clients are reaching out to you for solving some of the governance challenges?
Yeah. First of all, in my conversations, I realized that there is a lot of awareness in our customers. So, especially when you say governance, people think of control and security and things like that. But for the first time, we see our customers realizing the other aspect of governance, something like observability, lineage, data quality, discoverability, and sharing, and things like that, right? So now they realize that it is possible to implement governance using a product like a Unity Catalog now for the first time, probably, especially in the lake houses. Unity Catalog is the first product which covers end-to-end governance. So now the question is really about how to adopt Unity Catalog in their organization. So they really want our guidance, and also they're looking at the partners like yours to advise them and also help them out. And then most of their concerns or the ask that we get from them is mostly about how do I adopt Unity Catalog in a seamless manner, especially for the existing workloads. And also they ask us to simplify things to ease this adoption, and also simplify things around data classification, quality, observability, and things like that. So in summary, they want us to simplify things a lot more, and then also help us to adopt and implement this governance in their organizations.
Thank you, Gopala. I think, sir, you've touched upon again some very critical points out there, that the simplification seems to be quite key to kind of take things forward. And you also touched upon a few pointers about adoption and those key goals as well. Vishal, in regards to one of the major things what we are also hearing again and again, and again for the right reasons, is that how data democratization could add value towards the adoption and governance. What sort of opportunities you are seeing in regards to the broader data democratization goal as a whole?
Thanks, Amardeep. And yes, this question around data democratization, it really is the top of the mind of most CDAOs, basically analytical leaders, right? Essentially, it is all about how do you make both data and analytics a team sport. How do you get the people who work with data on a daily basis, who work with insights on a daily basis in terms of making those decisions, how do you make them part of the ecosystem and not make this just about data scientists and data engineers, right? In developing competitive advantage through developing differentiated insights. And we broadly see two different patterns over here, right? I'll give you a couple of examples. For the first pattern we see is around truly democratizing analytics itself. And one of our customers, for example, a retail customer, is trying to enable how their marketing teams can work with their data science marketing teams, together throughout the life cycle of developing next best actions, personalized, offers, etc. Differentiated models around this, working collaboratively together. They're creating these self-service capabilities that enable a marketer to provide input into how models are developed by basically bringing data to them and enabling them to create these personalizations and basically validate the approach in what that next best action is bringing, right? Now, the value that it's bringing, etc. And making them part of that ecosystem of developing these models. And this is something that we are doing together with Databricks on their platform in enabling these self-service capabilities that go across marketers, data scientists, etc., developing these models. Yet another case, the other pattern that I was talking about is where you're really enabling teams to work together across different data domains, lines of businesses, and geographies, where data must be brought together, where there are common reusable assets that are lying around across data silos or across different data ownership systems to be brought together. And we are basically building this marketplace for a consumer brand company which wants sales teams, finance teams, etc. to work through with the foundational data product teams which are providing their customer 360s, product 360s, etc. to them through a marketplace where it's easily discoverable what they want, and they can easily then go and consume these data through APIs, through delta sharing, etc. All these capabilities through a marketplace which is built on top of Unity Catalog that provides the access governance, that provides the lineage information, etc. About these data assets and products that are being built together. And so there are various shapes and forms that we see data democratization as being enabled, marketplaces being one of them. Unity Catalog is a foundational capability around the building of these marketplaces and the sharing of data through APIs, delta shares, etc. And yet another is through creating these collaborative, self-service capabilities that enable business teams, analyst teams, and data science teams to work together in building these, democratized models.
Again, a lot of exciting thoughts about how the data marketplace as a whole is coming together to bring a better democratization. One of the other critical things what you touched upon, which is quite fundamental as well, is about the whole quality and trust. And I believe a lot of things which are happening in the AI and Gen AI space, the trust in the models, and some of those things are also critical as we see. Gopal, in regards to data quality as a whole, which is quite fundamental and quite important as well for the organization, what sort of challenges and approaches what you are deploying to solve from a Databricks perspective?
From our point of view, data quality is contributed by two factors, two sets of features, I would say. So first is attaching rich metadata and providing the context and things like that to these data sets. Usually organizations just have a simple notions like having tables and schemas, and then usually this rich metadata is not captured with and kept along with these data sets. So that is quite critical, especially when it comes to things like quality, right? Basically, if you know how this data set was created and what source it utilized, and then who owns it, who updated it, and then what kind of data quality it has, and then all the context information, for example, the business rules and everything. When you attach all this rich metadata, that attributes to data quality in the end. And then the second area is about the quality features itself that we have been focusing on. So first of all, we introduced something called Lakehouse monitoring sometime last year. Now it is available in preview. So using Lakehouse monitoring, you will be able to analyze these data sets using the different dimensions. For example, time as a dimension, you will be able to analyze these data sets, and you will be able to profile and then monitor and then assess the quality of the data sets, especially when you are using these data sets for something like an AI or an ML, right? The other thing is this quality is not just for the data, but also for the ML models, the way ML models are performing, etc. People want to monitor, for example, to do like a drift detection for both the outputs and also for the input, which is the data itself. So now Lakehouse monitoring allows customers to do that. So it makes it easy to monitor this quality at scale as well. So we take care of the underlying heavy lifting for customers, so they can just turn on this monitoring for the important data sets, and then we take care of profiling it in an automated manner for them, and then they can actually make use of dashboards and things like that to monitor quality. So it's about ease of doing this quality monitoring. That is what we are focusing on in Unity Catalog.
That's great to hear, Gopal. Looks like you are certainly considering quality as a fundamental and bringing into every aspect of data, to the models, to the monitoring, and so on, which is all seem to be critical areas. Quick one, Vishal, from your side, as we are navigating through all of these different challenges and the different solution features and so on, what do you see as the critical building blocks for shaping up the strategy towards the broader governance? What are some of the things what you're saying?
Core building blocks for enabling data democratization, data governance, foundationally, whether you are looking at centralized architectures or data mesh architectures, they are similar in the sense that they rely on you having a way of enabling data quality, data lineage in standardized ways, surfacing data quality, lineage, metadata through a catalog, having consistent access controls in line with these metadata assets through something like Unity Catalog, for example. Right? These are foundational things. On top of that, enabling marketplaces through the Unity Catalog, through APIs, data sharing, etc. These are foundational things, and we are working very closely with our clients in enabling that. Another aspect that is foundational in our mind is also applying intelligence to the process of curating metadata, to discovering data quality, to enabling automation, right, and capturing all this information and integrating it into a catalog. So these are things that we are working very closely with our clients on as foundational building blocks for enabling governance and democratization.
And Gopal, just further things from your side as well, as a platform provider, what lies ahead? What are the things that's in your roadmap to kind of continue to tackle some of the newer challenges and continue to mature some of the things what you've already got?
Yeah, so we are continue to invest in improving the product core capabilities, something like a discovery and then lineage and things like that. So that is a fundamental thing that we work on from time to time. That overall it actually improves to better user experience. But we have like few areas that we are specifically focusing on. So first of all, we want to make this access controls to a lot easier to apply. The things that Vishal mentioned about the scale, right? Basically, when it comes to applying these access controls and maintaining it at scale, we are going to make it easier for them with the attribute-based access control, which will be available in preview shortly. So that is a modern way of applying it scale, and it goes on beyond these business unit boundaries, and it will be able to apply across the organizations. And then the second area of focus is on the federation. Basically, we allow the governance capabilities to go beyond the Databricks boundary a little bit, especially for the upstream and downstream sources. So we are working on this federation capabilities where you can actually bring these upstream databases or downstream data warehouses into the platform and apply these Unity catalog specific governance rules on top. So that is an area of continuing investment as well. Then third area is about the ecosystem. So we want Unity Catalog to be adopted widely in the ecosystem, data and AI ecosystem. So we recently announced open source of this Unity Catalog and also the open APIs. Now the external engines and also the open source engines outside, they can actually use Unity Catalog as a primary catalog or a catalog. So that is something we have been focusing on most recently, and then we continue to focusing on something like a sharing and collaboration. Right, we have this Delta sharing and also clean rooms and marketplace. Basically, these three things allow customers to share the data sets both within the organization across business units, for example, and outside the organization and collaborate with the external parties as well. So these collaboration features is a big area of focus as well. And finally, powering the entire data intelligence platform that we have, right, to build all the use cases like data engineering, BI, data science, for example, and also data analysis and data science, for example. All these use cases are dependent on Unity Catalog. Unity Catalog is a foundation for the entire platform. and things like, for example, storage or optimization, and then tuning of different workloads that we have, and also the SQL engines. The metadata is actually powered, and the power actually comes from Unity Catalog as well. That is an area of focus and investment that we are making as well.
Thank you, Gopala. Seems like quite an exhaustive list of features encompassing all the different management aspects, consumption aspects. It is quite exciting for sure. With that, I really want to kind of thank you, Vishal and Gopala, for sharing your comprehensive thoughts of what you are seeing in the market and what possibilities lies ahead of us. We look forward for our audience reaching us out, Tiger and Databricks team, for shaping up your governance strategy and executions as we go along. Thank you so much again.